What's up, guys? I'm gonna give you some quick tips on the nose that I think are really gonna help. Uh, Honestly, like when I first started drawing the nose, at first glance, it seemed really easy, and it is semi-easy. Don't get me wrong. Right now, we're gonna go over a basic nose, and you know. So first things first, the nose in general. Let's talk about it in profile. If it's going that way, let me look at the camera here. All right, if it's going that way, off the top of the face, generally, it's gonna be like a triangle. You know what I mean? Let's say this is the face. You know, this is the eye, whatever. Nose is going to be a triangle. And they're going to use kind of the measurements the same as the other one. Like if you have the front of the face here, let's say you have the front of the head. And usually, like I said, this is on average, just to make it look human, get in the ballpark, you're going to divide the head into thirds. It's going to be the brow line. I'm sorry, it's going to be the hairline, which is kind of where the head turns into space. Then you're going to have, right here, you're going to have the brow line. You're going to have right below the nose, and I guess you have the bottom, so that's weird. That's how you normally divide it. And then from there, you kind of divide into people's types. You know what I mean? People have different types. And when I simplify, that's a measurement for where the nose is going to be. Usually there's a brow line up here. Maybe the nose is going to... First thing about the nose is people have different... it varies a lot, obviously, because of the bone. You know, the skull itself causes the bump on the nose itself. So when you're seeing this really major bump, it's normally the nasal cavity. You know, in like when it's a skull. You know, so that part. And the rest is gonna be cartilage. So cartilage can be moved around. It's malleable. That's why people get nose jobs, and they look completely different. So on a general nose. Oh, another thing is be careful. Just real quick, right off the bat, especially in this angle, the nose can either kind of be turned up. You know what I'm saying? It can be turned up, or you know, let's say the mouth is right here. Or it could be kind of turned down, which I've seen a few of my friends have, and I think I have closer to that too. You know, or it could be just dead on when it actually hangs over the mouth a little bit. That's a nose in profile, basically. It's simplified like that. Dead on, when you actually look at the nose itself, if you really simplify the shapes, and that's what I recommend everybody does, is because when you're trying to understand a complex topic, thinking of it in simple shapes really helps out in the beginning. You know, and then you add more complex things on top of it. Think of it as like a warped cube. You know, you got the front plane of the nose, the front, like if you're made of Legos or something, you have the bottom, and then you have like the side, right? And then let's say you go into that, and you're like, hey, okay, now that I know that, you divide it into more. What are the different parts of it? And let's say the front of the nose right here, the front, there's usually a thinner portion of the cartilage, and then the ball of the nose is kind of a ball at the very end, and that can vary. Everything can vary in size, but there is kind of a ball shape. I forget the muscles in there. I might go over it in another video, but this is just generally there's a ball shape, and then you have the wings of the nostrils. You know what I mean? You have the wings of the nostrils, so it's amazing how much those vary. You know what I mean? See, that's the eye over here. Anyways, that would be, you know, like remember the ball, the kind of bridge of the nose here, and it's kind of this place where it connects to the skull, where the nasal cavity would be in there. You know what I mean? So you kind of have this, feel your own nose a little bit to feel around. And usually when people break it, they don't normally break it. It's just their cartilage moves. When you see somebody break their nose, usually it doesn't pull apart, it doesn't break it. Moves all weird and wacky. Another thing is, remember when it turns in space? I would say if sometimes you know how it said hang over the nose. Sometimes the person's head is just aiming downward, and when the person's head is aiming downward, the nose makes a different shape. It makes this kind of shape, right? As it turns down, as you're turning your head downward, no matter what, no matter who you are. So it makes that kind of shape, and then you have the bridge of the nose here. You know, he's looking down. But then when it's looking up, you're looking right up in their nostril here. This could be another, that could be the same type of nose. It'll be a different shape. So let's talk about the shapes underneath it. You know what I mean? Underneath it, general, like I said, you're going to have this ball of the nose here. And the ball of the nose can be split up into its own little squares, you know. Everybody's are different. And sometimes you see a split in the ball of the nose. Because, anyways. The bottom here, you get kind of this keystone shape. You know what a keystone is? Keystone is basically like when an arch, you know, they build for castles and stuff like that and bridges. This arches. A keystone is that stone, like this is all made up of stones, right? Like if this is a bridge. Like that's a bridge, right? You got a little person walking across it. Anyways, little person throwing dirt or something. You have an arch in the bridge, right? It's made of stones. Keystone is the stone at the top. That kind of keeps the whole. If you take that stone out, that bridge is gonna collapse on itself. You know what I mean? That's what keystone is generally. My understanding. Some they put cool designs on it, but that shape is usually on the bottom of. That's a bottom plane of the ball of the nose. That's I like to think of it as. And it goes down, and it connects to the face. And then you have the holes of the nostrils here. You have the wings of the nostrils. Remember, the wings are interesting. I'm going to fill this in here to understand. This is looking right up this dude's nose. Mouth. Alright. So that's looking up at the nose. Let me think about something else that I want to go over. Another way you can think about the nose is you can kind of think about it. Like I said, when you look at something, you're kind of defining the shape. I'm just giving you shortcuts as the way I think of it when I draw it. But you can make up your own shapes, right? Nose kind of looks like a tube. It kind of looks like a tube with maybe a burrito shell over it or something like that. I don't know. One second. You know what I mean? But look at different noses out of magazines and try drawing them. Try a full page of noses from magazines, and you're gonna understand how different people's noses are. It's kind of cool. It really is. In the beginning, and the more you do this, the more you're gonna be kind of vigilant to that. You know, you're gonna see different nose types. You're gonna see repeated nose types. Just keep doing that. Go to magazines. Go to the internet. I guess we have the internet, right? So go to the internet and start just drawing noses, like a full page of them. And the more you do that, the more, and I'm always going to say this, the more you're going to build up the library in your mind, and you're going to be able to draw a lot better. Here's a fun little thing. They say that when you draw made-up characters and you make up characters, you tend to draw yourself into them because you're looking at that every day in the mirror. You know what I mean? So that you draw what you remember. And apparently sometimes it's you draw your own face. I definitely do that in made-up characters. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was just a fun little factoid. That's about it for noses as far as I can think of these little things. If you remember these little things, it should help you immediately. I mean, all right, guys, thanks a lot. If you have any questions or anything else, please send me a message. And I'm going to be putting up a video in the next couple of days about the entire facial expressions maybe, and maybe some dynamics on different ethnic types. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later, and see you soon.